Alright guys, I got another video for you. This time we're doing dictionary and range. Dictionary, range, and slicing. Alright, I've got on this there's some range problems and there are some slicing problems. We've already done the range ones in the last video, so if you missed that, go ahead and go back to the last video if you're kind of confused. I am going to do one refresher for the range one on this video, so that might be helpful. But additionally, I have a slicing guide on here. I'm going to go to this slicing guide so we can take a look at what's here. And we're going to learn how to slice, and we're going to use range again. So here we have a link. It says Python for machine learning, indexing, and slicing for lists, tuples, strings, and other sequential types. I didn't read all the way through this, but it looked like it had some really valuable stuff here. So it shows how a list can be. Starting is 0, the ending is 5. Most of you guys should know that. Additionally, you have it in reverse, -1 to -6. And if you'd like to slice a list, you could say, let's say this is our list of nums. You could go from 2 to 7, and that would get the second element all the way to the 7th element, and it would return this. So very cool. Additionally, you can also, I don't see it here, you can also skip ranges. I thought I saw it earlier when I was looking in here. Either way, we'll take a look at it right there. Let's do an example on my side and it'll be more helpful. Okay, so if you want to read through that to learn more about it, it's right there. All the examples are there on that link, so super helpful. Let's start here. It says, how can you slice a list from the 3rd index to the end? Okay, so I'm going to use this example list here. So I'm going to say print, and we're going to be using example list, so I'll copy that. And we want to go from the 3rd index to the end. And notice that I said to the end. That means however long the list is, I want to go to the end of it. So I'm going to do this partially right the first time. So I'll say if I want to go from the 3rd item all the way to the end, I could count this, and I could say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could say from 0 all the way up to, I think it's actually 9. Let's see what it does when we print it out, because it does not include the very last item, just like that range did. So there we go. Let's see what happens if I did 0 to 8. It's going to go all the way up to, but not including the last index right there. So 8, that would only take you to the 7th item. So you need to add one more, just like it did in the range. Alright, so if I run this again, you can see I can get the entire list. Now, if for some reason more items get added to this list, and I run this again, this will no longer take me to the end of the list. So if I run this, it's still only going to return me up to the 8th element, even though there's more stuff on there. And this question wants us to print from the 3rd item all the way to the end, no matter how many are there. In order to do that, all you have to do is remove that last one and just leave it blank. And then when you run it, it's going to return from the 3rd element all the way to the end. No matter how many items you add in the list, it's going to make sure that it prints all the way to the end. Alright, so that's really helpful. Alright, let's check this next one. The next one says, how can you print the entire list using a slice? Well, very similar to the way we printed from the 3rd to the end, you can actually just do print example list, and you can say just colon. So basically there's just two spaces there, two nothings there, and that's going to say I want to go from wherever the start is of my list to whatever the end of my list is, and it will print the entire list for you. I'm going to comment out this one here so it doesn't keep on getting in my way, but there you go. You can see that it'll go from the start of the list all the way to the end of the list. Alright, let's comment that one out and let's keep on going. Our next one says, how can you print from the start of the list to the fifth element using a slice? Alright, so we could do print example list. And then I could just leave that first one blank, and I want to go to the sixth element, or the fifth element, or the fifth item. So that would be the 6 right here. It should print out 6 from the start all the way up to the 6. Now you'll notice that I added 1 to this so I could get all the way to the fifth element there. So there it is, printed a 6 from the start all the way there. Alright, now just like with ranges, we were able to skip by using start, stop, and step. Let me write that here for us. So the range had start, which was equal to 0, was it 0 or 1, something like that. And then it had stop, and then it had step. And the step was defaulted at 1. Basically the same thing is happening with our slicing. So let's see if we can use that same format and skip print with slices. So if I say example, print example list, and let's say I want to do, let's just do from the second element to the 8th element, and this time I want to skip count by 2s. Alright, this is going to go to the second element. Actually, let's go all the way to the 9th. It's going to go from the second element all the way up to the 8th one, since I had to put 9 here, and it's going to skip count by 2. So we should see 3, 5, 7, 9. Alright, so there's those 3, 5, 7, 9, and that looks good. So if I wanted to, instead of skip counting by 2, like maybe I wanted to skip count by 3, I could say 3, run, and it's going to do 3, 6, 9. Okay, so that can count from skipping by 3. So let's see, 3, 6, 9. I'm going to use, let's use from the start of the list to the end of the list. And let's just skip count by 2. So let's see what it looks like. It should just say 2, 4. Oh no, the first one gets printed and then it skips by 2. So if I started on 0, it would be all the even numbers. Let's do that. I'm going to just do, so this should be even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. And then if you do by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Well, what happens if we put negative 1? What does it do? Oh, looky there. We're going in reverse now. What if I do negative 2? We are going in reverse, skipping down by 2s. And then I bet you could probably guess what negative 3 is going to do. Alright, so there's some examples there for you. Alright, this last one says, using range, print the first 4 types of floors. Okay, so if you can remember from the last time, we used range, and I'm going to say 4x in range, and it wants the first 4 types of floors. So I'm going to say, I guess just 5. So that should do 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's just do a regular print to start with. So if we just print X, you'll see that it prints 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now if I want to actually print those on each one, I need to reference the dictionary as well. So I would say house underscore dictionary, D-I-C-T. That's the name of my dictionary right here. That's where I'm getting that from. And it's wanting to know the first 4 types of floors. So then I'll say square brackets floors, or flooring, because that's what that says there. And then to print each one, I will just do another square bracket and I'll say X, because now it's going to take that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and it's going to stick it in there for the X. So I can get rid of that print. And now we should see printed out hardwood, laminate, vinyl, porcelain, and stone. And it's printing. Oh, I didn't actually print. Silly Mr. Eversole. Alright, there we go. Now we're actually printing. Hardwood, laminate, vinyl, porcelain, and stone. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully these examples will help you solve these bottom ones here. This is basically the exact same thing as what we did, but this time we're going to you're using a dictionary. You're referencing a dictionary. This line of code right here is going to be very helpful for you to complete the below stuff. All right, good luck, guys. Have a great day. See you in the next one.